Hello, hello, and welcome back to Bill's Workbench. We are going to be drawing a nut to put on the top of that steering linkage on the RC10 that we saw in the last RC10 video. But why am I doing this instead of going to buy some nuts? Well, because one, I want to, and two, I don't want to buy any more nuts for this thing. So for someone who's interested in getting into this hobby and building things from scratch, 3D modeling and soldering are your two best friends to learn how to do. So I'm going to hope to help you with both on this channel, but this video is going to help you with 3D modeling. We're going to model in this nut that you see right here, and here's the drawing for it. This is all in millimeters. The 3D printer prints in millimeters, even though this nut is a ISA nut. We're going to draw it in millimeters because it'll be just fine. All right, so we're going to create a new part inside of Alibre Atom. This is the modeling software I've been using lately to do my modeling because it's fun. And the nice people at Alibre reached out to me and said, hey, would you like to give this a try? And I said, absolutely, I would like to give this a try. So let's give this thing a try. We will go to the front view. We're going to go to that. And we want this right here is the plane we are looking at. So the ZX plane is the plane that we want to draw on. So we want to activate a sketch. And we want to put it on that ZX plane. We can see we're in Z and X. We're going to start with drawing in the circle, which is the lowest part of this nut, and then we'll draw in the nut part itself, the flats. So we'll draw in a circle, and we'll start it about there, and we will give it a diameter of 10 millimeters. Whoa, I'm not in millimeters, I'm in inches. So we will hit escape. So we are going to go into properties, and we're going to go into units in general. And we're going to change it from inches to millimeters. Decimals is fine. We don't want the leading zeros either. The trailing, we don't care either. We can turn those off. Everything else looks great. We'll hit apply and we'll close. Yes, I could have just hit close, but that's okay. So now we're in millimeters. We'll say 10, and we have a 10 millimeter circle. All right. Now we need to extrude that up 1.25 millimeters. So we will deactivate the sketch, and we will look at it from a 3D, and we will extrude. Now up here at the top, either add material, remove, or change some of the parts, fillet it, chamfers, things like that. We want to extrude in this case, and we want to extrude this sketch, and we want to extrude this sketch 1.25. Enter. And that is our bottom part of the nut that you can see right here. So now we're going to activate sketch again, and we're going to click on this right here because we want to go from this point forward. So we'll activate that sketch, and we want to draw in a polygon, and the number of sides of 6, and we want it inscribed or out circumscribed, not inscribed. So we want to measure from flat to flat. So we'll pick the center, 8.65. That's close enough right there. Okay, apply. Close out of that command. And if we want to check that, we can put a dimension from here to here, down to here. We can change that to 8.65. There we go. Now our nut is 8.65. It's not quite in the center, but it doesn't really matter because it's a circle. And I'm not really worried about it. So I'm going to deactivate the sketch. I'm going to extrude that. And how far am I going to extrude that? I'm going to extrude it 5.85. Okay, so there's that. So now we'll draw in another sketch. We'll draw it from there. And this is going to be the hole. So we want to draw in a circle from the center point out, and that diameter of that circle is 3.35 millimeters. Fantastic. And then we'll deactivate the sketch, and this time we are going to do an extrusion on this side, which is on the cut side. So do an extrusion of that one, and we want to go negative, we'll do -8. And we can see now that we have a hole in our nut. And that is it. That is our nut ready to go. So now we will make this an STL file. An STL file is the file that gets used by Cura, which is the slicing software that I'm going to use. So we will do a file, and we will export as a STL file. And we will go to Bill's Workbench, and we'll go into RC, and we'll go into the RC10, and we'll call this the nut. And everything is okay there. Now we have an STL. We'll file save as on this, and we'll say this to the same place, and we'll call this a nut as well. And then we will close out of our Alibre CAD because we're done with that. So we're going to jump over to the Mac and do Cura. All right, I've got Cura loaded, and we will drag and drop the STL file, the nut.stl file, into here. And you can see it came in and it's not quite orientated the way I want it to be orientated. I would like this to be on the bottom. So I'll click on the part and I'll hit rotate, and I'll hit this last rotate button. Then I'll click on the face that I want to be on the bottom, and now that face is on the bottom. All right, there's my piece ready to get printed. Let's check our print quality, or print settings rather. And I want dynamic quality, wall count. I don't need 6 walls on this. I could probably get by with 3. The same with the top layers of 3 on each. 20% density is fine. Everything else is good. Probably could bump the speed up to 60 on this. Temperature, yep, that's right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and slice U. It's going to take 7 minutes. I'll go ahead and say print with Octoprint. And away it goes, and it starts printing. We'll be back here in a minute. We'll be back on the workbench with the nut to see how it works. Well, here we go. Here is the finished nut. I think it came out just great. It is holding. It's doing what it's supposed to do. But, you know, I found in that screw kit that I purchased for the RC10 the real lock nuts. So I might just replace those with the real lock nuts. Who knows? Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Let me know if you did. Down in the description, let me know if you like this kind of content.